Shalom. This is Priest and Captain Natazak Shah, I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, down here in Virginia. You understand? Hampton, Richmond, Newport News, down here in Virginia, raising up our people, teaching the truth about this Bible that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. The Lord has a lot of things that's going on in Virginia. The Lord wants our people to realize something. The Lord wants our people to understand that God never intended for us to join America. America does not mean Hispanics or blacks any good. America is made solely to feed on our people, just like ancient Egypt was. America is not built for our people. Every nation of people in America understand that they are supposed to be separate. The Chinese have their culture and they're separate. The Arabs have their culture and they're separate. The East Indians have their culture and they're separate. The different white men, the German and the Jewish man, they're not together. The American white man, the French man, the Dutch man, the different Africans, the Ethiopians, the Nigerians, they all come to America and they are with their people. They're in their communities, they're with their people. The only thing that the Most High created, the only people out of all of his civilization that does not understand how the Lord set life up is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it's the fault of the Christian church. The Christian church, the Christian preachers has put a spirit in black people that is completely against God. It's completely against the God of the Bible. It's completely anti-Christ and against the Spirit of Christ. We're going to show here in the scripture. Deuteronomy chapter 32 in verse 7 says, remember the days of old. Out of all the people that the Lord created, the Lord wants us to remember the days of old. Now, why is God saying this? Consider the years of many generations. God is saying to consider the years of many generations because we have a huge problem amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that's not wanting to deal with the past and the history of what has happened to our people. Because when you start to deal with the past of our interactions with these other nations, with the Arabs and the Africans and the so-called white man and our oppressors, you start to realize that so much crimes have been done to our people. And the Christian church teaches you to ignore it so that we don't have to face it, so that we don't have to deal with it and try to fix our people. That's why black people are still marching, begging to be treated like a human being in 2020. Martin Luther King had black people marching, and black people still marching in Portsmouth and Richmond right now for equal rights, for jobs, for pay, you understand, for employment. Martin Luther King told us he would have this. He's still fighting for a dream. It's been 50 years. That dream still not realized. We done destroyed ourselves. If you go back many generations, black men wasn't shooting and murdering each other like it's going on now in Norfolk, and Chesapeake, and Hampton. You understand? In Richmond and Newport News. Brothers was not shooting and murdering each other. This came with integration. That's why the Lord said, consider many generations. You understand? Ever since we joined our oppressor, it has destroyed our people, destroyed our families. That's how you started raising children by yourself. Many generations ago, the black woman and the black man was together. We was joined together like the Lord intended. But the Christian church destroyed us by telling us to integrate. Then they came with the welfare act to give the woman an incentive to get the black man out the house. Then they took the businesses that the black man had. Then they came with the churches to tell the woman to throw the black man out and she didn't need it anymore. Then the preachers, Reverend I.S.U.P.K, worked with the U.S. government to flood drugs into all the black communities across this country. Now, 50 years of drug addiction, feminism, woman throwing the man out the house, and now the woman is in charge of the family, and the family is absolutely on fire. The black man is out of place. He in the streets without a home. His woman running wild with the wop, her naked behind all up and down the street. You living your life a completely different way from how the Lord intended. The Lord ain't never made no woman to be on her own, left to her own devices. It's her and her head and her mind. The Lord intended for you to have a man. The Christian church can work with America to teach you to be a feminist if you don't need a man. And now you can destroy yourself. Heart attacks, strokes, fear, panic, worry, get pregnant by men you don't want to be with, having abortion. This is the result. The Lord wants us to examine the many generations. But the Christian preacher and our oppressor don't want us to examine many generations. Why is that? Because if you start to look back at the previous generation, you'll see how much of a mistake it was for us to try to join into America. You're going to get some more. The Lord said, ask thy father, and he will show you. Our fathers were supposed to teach us the previous generation, but because of the civil rights and Martin Luther King, we done been taught now not to look into the past. You understand? We ain't been taught. That's why it's a strange thing. Black people don't realize why the police is targeting you specifically in Williamsburg, Virginia. Why they stopping in prison, searching your car, pulling guns on you at the traffic stop in Richmond on the highway. Because this was the job of that runaway slave patrol captain. This was the job. You ain't been taught about the many generations with the German Shepherd and the runaway slave patrol catchers. America's designed to trap you. It's designed to catch Hispanics. That's why they're not putting the Africans and the Arabs and the East Indians and the Chinese in INS detention centers. Even though the Bureau of Statistics said that the illegal immigrants in America is the Chinese and the East Indians #1. You're not seeing them in dog cages. Why? The scripture going to explain perfectly why. He said, ask thy fathers and they will show thee, thy elders and they will tell thee. Our elders refused to teach us about how cool our oppressor was when they integrated and joined their military, how they abused them brothers in their army and their marines. The Tuskegee experiments, shooting them up with syphilis and Agent Orange, doing experiments on black soldiers. Now that Martin Luther King told us we should join our slave masters. Now that they told you should stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and salute the flag that was built off of enslaving and selling and killing your forefathers. The Native Americans on reservation, they murdered and stole this land. 77 million of them. Our Hispanic brothers, the tribe of I.S.U.P.K, the so-called Mexicans, Texas, California, Arizona, they murdered them brothers to steal that land. They the natives of this land, and they stole it. And now they call them illegal immigrants and put them in dog cages and tell sisters to drink out the damn toilet bowl in INS detention centers. See, they don't teach our Hispanic children. They don't teach our Native American sisters and brothers. They don't teach black brothers and sisters in the ghetto and the project that the Lord never intended for us to be a part of this place. This is not our homeland. This ain't home. America's not home. This is enemy lines, man. They look at you like an enemy when you step in that courtroom and you black or Hispanic. That's why you still marching trying to get equal rights and justice for 60 goddamn years. They look at you like an enemy. The system is built to treat you like an enemy. The housing, the education, the finance, the policing is all built to attack and oppress your people because that's what the Lord said would happen in life. Deuteronomy 32:8 says, consider the years of many generations. It said when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. The Chinese, the Africans, the Arabs, they have an inheritance. They have their language, they have their land, their culture, their diet, their own God, their own religion. You don't realize, blacks and Hispanics, that every race of people have their own God. And their God is about what's best and promoting the dominance of their race of people. That's why the Arabs have Islam in the Arab language, about the Arab culture and an Arab God in an Arab land. The Chinese have their Chinese beliefs in Buddhism. a Chinese god in a Chinese language about a Chinese culture for Chinese people. The white man made himself a god. That white image of Jesus Christ is not the real Christ of his Bible. Jesus Christ was a black man from the ghetto, the projects of Nazareth, born to Joseph and Mary. They came to save black people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Our oppressor, the white man, made himself God, made himself Jesus and the angels and the people of the Bible. When the Bible say everybody in it was black, except for the devil. You understand? But they made a culture and a heritage for their people. The problem is, you've lost your culture and your heritage, black man, Hispanic, Native American man, and this Bible contains the records of your heritage. And you need to be in the I.S.U.P.K so you can put your culture and the spirit of the Lord back on and take off this democracy and Christianity and Islam and being a drug dealer and getting high and smoking weed and voting and marching and protesting. You're supposed to turn to the Lord. That's your inheritance. You ain't supposed to beg no other nation of people for justice. That's why they don't respect our people. That's why since we started marching, Trayvon Martin, after Trayvon Martin was Walter Scott, and Jordan Davis down in Florida, Karen Gore and Sandra Bland, fast forward, Freddie Gray, Walter Scott, you understand? Christopher Dorner, brother out in the LAPD, went on a rampage because of how much he loved America. Keep going. Botham Jean, loving our oppressor, joined to white men. Amber Guyger came, murdered him in his house. His family hugs the murderer in the courtroom. That's how much we love our oppressor. That's against the Lord now. Christ said no man can serve two masters. You can't serve your slave master and serve the God of slavery. The God of the Bible is the God of the slave, not the God of our slave master. He got his own culture. That's why the Lord said he divided nations, their inheritance. Without separation, you don't have your own food supply. We did many generations ago before we integrated. Then once we integrated, we lost our black businesses, our black farm, our black family. Your black woman is sold like you sell meat in the grocery store now. Look at Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Your woman naked on stage for the world to see, shaming our entire nation. Why is that? Because the Lord meant for us to be separate, and Martin Luther King told us to join our oppressors, and it destroyed us. That's why the Lord said, consider many generations. But our people don't consider that, because the preacher that got you rocked to sleep thinking that you at home in America, join to your oppressors. The Lord said he divided to the nations their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds. The word bounds mean boundaries. Meaning when it say the sons of Adam, these was Adam's children. Meaning from the very beginning when God made creation, he intended for there to be a separation between the people. He never wanted all people to come together. You were never supposed to have interracial marriages and relationships and joining hands and celebrating all cultures. You, the Lord's chosen people, you're supposed to be separate. And because we refuse to be separate, we've taken Islam and Christianity and being a gangster and the Dons and the Bloods and the Vice Lords and MS-13 and gangster disciples and Crips and Latin Kings, and we took the murdering and killing each other just like our oppressors are murdering and killing. You understand? A drug dealer, a rapist, a criminal, human trafficking. Hampton Road's #1 human trafficking, selling a person in the country in this area. Virginia Beach, Tidewater, Hampton Road. Why is that? Because we done took on the culture of our oppressors that the Lord said he separated us from all people. You done cheapen yourself trying to join your slave master, and they don't accept you. You've been in this white man's military. American military don't respect you as a black or Hispanic. They don't respect you or your people. You go and be a police officer. They don't respect you as a black officer. They don't respect you. You a scapegoat, waiting for an opportunity to throw you under the bus to spare some white man for all the crimes that he committed. They're going to throw you under the bus. That's why you there. That's why the Lord said for us to be separate. They don't respect you in politics. They don't respect you. You understand? They don't respect you begging them to take your people seriously when you're not fighting to fix your own problems in your community. You fighting to beg them to care about what's going on in your community. If you really love black people and you're in Virginia, you need to contact the I.S.U.P.K and lace up your boots. Singing, holding hands, marching, and protesting didn't work in Martin Luther King's day. It's a damn sure ain't working in 2020. You got to understand, it's time for our people to wake the hell up. The Lord set boundaries according to the number of the children of Israel. Why is that? Because if you don't have boundaries in your community or your neighborhood, everybody will come and take from you. And that's what we have right now. The Chinese is in the ghetto, taking money, taking businesses that black people can't have. Because it's a Chinese man with 1 million businesses in the ghetto. So where's your business going to be? It's Arabs and Africans setting up shop for their God. The white man putting up churches shop for his God. When are you going to get to learn about your God? For you the important piece. For your needs of your people. And how your people is homeless and starving in the ghetto. And don't know how to deal with the problems with each other. Shooting and killing each other all in the streets night and day. Get into an argument. Murder your brother at a school, at a college, in the community. Your next door neighbor at a traffic stop. This is what we need in our community. Damn a vote. Damn a song. Damn a march. That ain't never saved our lives to begin with. And that's not our culture. Our culture is to deal with each other. We need to get back to these laws in the Bible and come in these classes we got here in Virginia. We need to get back in here to learn how to deal with each other. A song ain't gonna teach us how to fix each other, man. That's why the Lord told us to be separate, man. They didn't run game on our people. That's why it's 1 million of us sitting in prison now, trying to join our oppressors' culture. You don't fit as no gangster, man. You don't fit as no robber, no drug dealer, no murderer. The white man murder and steal and create a nation for himself. You murder and steal and destroy the ghetto that you live in already. Like you wasn't made to be this way, man. That's not our culture. You're supposed to come back and serve the Lord. And if you in Virginia, the I.S.U.P.K is here to teach our people the only true way to serve the God of our forefathers and fix the black community. You serious about it, you contact our school, 757-550-1204. I.S.U.P.K, we in Virginia. Come on.